Hey there, welcome back to the channel. My name's Reid, and in this video, I'm gonna dive into what I think is gonna happen in Cochrane, Alberta's real estate market in 2024. Now, first off, I think it's important to set a stage for how things ended in 2023, and that gives you some background information on just kind of where things could go from there. Now, in Cochrane, Alberta's real estate market and the tail end of 2023, so that fall winter market, pricing really stayed pretty steady. So by watching a couple different property types, it was pretty easy to tell that the pricing was staying pretty similar. The price you expected to pay in September was pretty similar to that in December. Now, while like in the last video I mentioned, December did see price increases year over year, the pricing has kind of stayed steady since kind of the end of the summer. Now, moving into January, February, and even maybe into that early part of March, I would expect these pricing structures to kind of stay about the same. Things are going to stay pretty flat right now. And that is kind of leading into us into that spring and summer market. Now, when we're talking about the market in Cochrane, Alberta, and where it stands right now, one of the key indicators is inventory. Now, like I mentioned in the last few videos, we have seen a boost in overall inventory. However, it's very specialized. All of that inventory, or a vast majority of it, is coming from new construction homes. So the amount of prior lived-in homes that are currently available to purchase are much, much lower than what the inventory numbers truly show. Well, why does that matter? Well, new construction homes aren't finished yet. So if you are the buyer that is looking to maybe move in 3 months, those homes may not be available. Some of these homes might be scheduled for a early summer or late spring completion date, in which case that's 4 and 5 months down the road. Also, a new build or a new construction home brings GST into the price. So you're looking at an additional 5%. Some of the new construction homes won't offer appliances or rear landscaping. So for those people that are looking for the best bang for your buck and are looking for those pre-owned homes, there are less of them available. And so while inventory numbers appear to be relatively normal, the choices for that prior lived-in home selection is quite low. So we're continuing into 2024, still in that bit of a seller's market that the sellers of prior lived-in homes have been experiencing for much of the last couple of years. Now, when we go and look at 2024, obviously we can make predictions and assumptions and have our opinions of what may come, but I think it's really important to stop and take a second to acknowledge that there is some factual things that we can take into account too. For one, Heartland's second development put on by Rohit Land is in construction. They're currently building more homes. So there will be more new homes being built in Heartland, which could potentially open up some people upgrading down the road or downgrading to a smaller house and putting more properties on the market. The same holds true for Greystone. People who are up on the hill in Sunset who maybe have been eyeing that move down into Cochrane proper and being closer to the river might start looking at some of those homes that are being constructed in Greystone. And yes, there is some comments saying that, oh, Greystone's ugly and there's not a tree in sight. But also, as time goes on, more grass is planted and more trees are planted. That is true. And any trees that were planted last year should grow this year. So all of those things will improve. The other real big thing for Cochrane's real estate market going into 2024 is that South Bow Landing, Cochrane's newest community, taking that title away from Greystone, which is just south of Cochrane on the east-hand side of Highway 22, directly south of the River Song Willows area, is scheduled to start building. So they have begun stripping and grading, and then after that you have a few months of shallows and deep utilities being put in, and I expect that we could potentially see some lots coming up for sale and maybe even some show homes heading into late of 2024. So that's an exciting thing, a whole new subdivision for those people that want to be south of the Bow River and get further away from that Highway 1A and Highway 22 construction with that dreaded traffic circle. Spoiler alert, if you move south of the river and you head into Cochrane to get your groceries down past the rec center, you're going to have to go through a few traffic circles. So keep that in mind. If you're moving to get away from the traffic circle, you're moving to more. Now, some market-specific things that are going to be important to keep an eye on for 2024 is that the recent stats have shown that 60% of home buyers, or 60% of homeowners, will have to renew their mortgage in the next 3 years. Now that's a drastic number, and with rates high, it brings into a very interesting thing. Now, I want to focus on a small part of that range. Like myself, there's some buyers in the market right now who purchased properties just before COVID. So a 2019 purchase or an early 2020 purchase before the market really started to skyrocket with home prices. Those homeowners are currently sitting on properties with low interest rates, but quite a bit of equity. And so as they come up to the point where they may be looking to upgrade, they may be holding on a little bit later into the year, hoping that they can get closer and closer to some lower rates. I'm a November renewal, and that's what I'm going to be doing, hoping to get closer and closer to that lower rate as we expect them to fall in the new year. But also, they may be looking at saying, okay, now that rates have come down 1.5%, maybe even from the peaks of 2023 here, maybe we can look at starting to translate some of that home equity into an upgrade ourselves. So that could increase the number of previously lived in homes that will be hitting Cochrane's market here in 2024. Simple math, 2024 minus 2019 is a 5-year fixed period if that's what somebody chose. So me included, we're going to be watching those interest rates and watching to see how that affects sellers jumping back into the market to potentially use some of that equity that they've gained in the last 2 or 3 years and use that for a potential upgrade or maybe even a downgrade and take advantage of some of that equity gained as well. Now, do I think interest rates are just going to start plummeting here just because 2024 hits? No, I think the interest rates are going to stay fairly steady for the first quarter for sure. Obviously, I'm not a mortgage broker. Take this with a grain of salt. I can only get this information by listening to industry experts. Much the same as you, I'm just trying to relay that information. Now, looking into 2024, obviously all of us are hoping that the interest rates come down. But I do expect that the busyness of the gym parking lot is going to decrease at a much faster rate than our interest rates are going to drop going into this new year. So I do not think that the interest rates are having the new year, new me mindset and they're just going to start dropping off like flies in 2 or 3 weeks. However, I do expect that through the course of 2024, we are going to see the mortgage rates start to drop. And that's shown that, even from peak 2023 in the summer to where we are about now, we're almost 1%, maybe even over 1% lower in available rates to you than we were at that time. All of this bodes well for more homes potentially hitting the market for the reasons I've stated before, with people that have been holding on for lower rates so that they can capitalize on some of that equity gained in their homes. Now here's where I'm going to throw it out to you. What do you think the biggest change in the real estate market is going to be in 2024? Do you think we're going to all of a sudden see rates drop drastically because, hey, maybe an election's coming? Or do you think the rates are going to stay solid all through 2024? Or do you think it's going to have any effect on the market at all? Are you looking forward to Cochrane's newest community south of the Bow River? Or are you looking to take advantage of some of those people who are wanting to move out of Cochrane proper? And hey, you want a little bit of an older style home and you're hoping that the new construction entices some people to move out of the older areas. Drop that in the comment section below. I'd love to know what your thoughts are going into 2024. And I'd love to know if there's anything else that you would like to know about Cochrane, Alberta and moving here in 2024. Thanks, and I'll catch you in the next one.